Well, I
sure.
mean the liquor.
Yeah. All right. So we're going on to the next article. So we last episode we previously spoke about the bad release launch for Outriders. Even though it didn't go smoothly, it still did pretty well, like numbers wise and player count wise. The developers released a patch note which explains the things that they're trying to fix, along with a gift for those who stuck by them at launch. So they're offering level appropriate legendary weapon, level appropriate amount of titanium, which is one of the resources for crafting and stuff. Sorry, not crafting, for modding and upgrading and stuff. And then they're funny enough, they are giving you an emote which is called frustration, which is the whole point is that you're frustrated trying to actually play the game, trying to sign on to the game. So they gave you a frustration emote to kind of joke around about the situation. So I found that kind of funny. So that's just the side news about it. So what is everybody thoughts on the gifts that they're offering, and is this practice something that should be done more? It should be done more often, since like online launch games always tend to fail due to server issues or whatever it may be. Randy.
I think they went about it like the perfect way, honestly. The level appropriate thing, it's totally fine because obviously it's like, based on how much you played after launch, how long you stuck with them. If you were definitely like, oh, regardless of what's going on, I'm still going to play it, like you and Danny, then,
Mhm.
it might as well be rewarded. And even if it was kind of like oh, I only played for like 2 hours at most, you're still getting compensation for those 2 hours that you played for sticking around. The
Hmm.
frustration emote, it's funny. They're taking the piss out of it. That's fine. From the interactions they had with the actual customers to now, they're doing it amazingly, and it should be a common practice, honestly. Like, it shouldn't be a thing of like, going over the top on saying sorry, but keep it to quote unquote level appropriate, you know?
So you
Or
feel
like
like I don't want to say privileged or like you're owed this, but like do you think that you need to be rewarded in some sort of way for your troubles?
if it's like kind of catastrophic or not, then there could be something just to make it sweeter for everyone. Personally, I don't care if there's like a little honey pot for me to kind of dip my fingers into or whatever the case. But like I told in last week's episode, like there's always someone that is gonna make something way worse than what it's supposed to be. So even
Yeah.
if you and Danny were chill about it, someone is freaking the fuck out. Oh my god, why the
Yeah.
fuck is the game not working? Why is this? Why is that? Shut up, deal with it. For
Yeah.
those people that are constantly bitching about it, give them the reward. They're gonna love it, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Danny?
this appeals to the extremes of the good and the bad. That's what I feel.
Yeah. I agree. What about you, Danny?
I agree with everything he just said.
He just said
No, I'm
ditto.
not done.
Ditto.
No,
Ditto. On to Kevin.
no.
All
I
right,
agree with
Kevin.
everything he said. I agree with everything he said. But the only aspect is I don't want it to be a habit where
Oh no, of course.
people go like they come out another launch game, another expansion or whatever it is, and they go, it's going to be broken. We know, but don't worry. They'll give you a weapon here. Have fun.
Oh, so you think
But the
that they've been
way,
using the gifts as an incentive so they can get away with it?
yeah.
Hmm.
So this, and then it all depends on the level of what's going on. If it's Cyberpunk, if it's Cyberpunk, there is no fucking free anything they can do to make up for that.
Yeah.
The only free thing they can do is the free fucking game when it works. That's like the only thing they can do. And even that is like, yeah, I don't know. If I really want to play it, I'm still stuck.
Yeah.
Um, but in this aspect, this wasn't that big of a deal. Everybody's still able to play, everybody still enjoy it. Yeah, every now and then there's an annoying, some kind of weird bug that happens. The wipe one, the automatic inventory wipe, that had to be the worst aspect of the game,
Yeah.
and maybe that people did. It's yes, a good thing that they're restoring the inventory, but you wipe your inventory, you wipe your stuff, you can't play anymore. Really, like it's really hard to move on from without having any weapon. You're not, yes, technically you're not going to be starting from level one because of the way the game works, but it is still a pain in the ass of everything
Yeah.
you just had.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Kevin?
Uh, I agree. It's gonna be an easy one. I agree with both Danny and Randy said. Uh, and more specifically with what Danny was saying, like it's okay that you guys are like being aware of like the mistakes you guys are making, but don't make it a habit. Like just don't make it a habit because then that leads to that builds a bad relationship with your audience, and you don't want that. But I like it. I
You
like that
start
they
to get entitled after a while, I would think.
yeah. Yeah, don't become an EA, bro, because then we're not gonna listen to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because definitely, like, if it does become like a really annoying habit, then it's gonna be terrible for the consumer. Because then at that point, not only will they expect a broken game, and even if there's compensation, they're gonna get tired at some point. It's gonna be like, yeah,
Uh-huh.
sure, I could get like the rewards, but that means I have to put up with this stupid shit while they fix it.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then after that, as like a publisher or developer, you're kind of seen as like, the that team that rides the short bus, if anything.
Yeah.
What do
The
you
step
think?
parents who beat you and then give you a gift afterwards.
Say what?
Mhm.
The step parents who beat you and then give you a gift afterwards to make it all right.
Yeah.
He said he loves me.
Yeah.
Did at the moment.
All right. So we're gonna go on
They
to
hurt you because
the.
they love you.
Actually, is this the last one? Yeah, we're
Wait,
gonna
no,
go
wait, wait,
on.
wait, 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 wait,
What
wait.
happened?
What do you think about this? Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, I agree with all
But
three.
you're in
Moving
the
on
hot seat
now.
now. Wow.
Mm.
No.
Damn.
No, I agree with it. I probably would have mentioned the same thing about just the fact that it's not so much. I somewhat have more faith about the developers not taking advantage. Is more so like publishers, the ones that are really really greedy, or like the publishers, the ones that are actually really making the money off this stuff. So it's not so much the developers. I feel like they would take advantage of the people, but I still also feel like the people might feel too entitled if this does happen too often. So I guess to agree with all of you, to kind of like consolidate it all is saying like it's all based on a case by case basis. Like it depends on how severe it is. Like for Danny, like said, for example, the cyberpunk
Cyberpunk.
situation,
Mhm.
there's no coming back from that because not only did we get lied to, but we still have an unplayable game. Whereas like
Yeah.
something like Outriders, it's still somewhat playable. They're still working on it. They never hyped up the game to all hell to the point where it's just like it was the best game ever, but like the expectations were still pretty high, but I feel like it was more expectations being high because of just the community. It was just the community who kind of hyped it up. It was the social media that hyped it up, not necessarily like the developers or the publishers or like the marketing tactic like they did with Cyberpunk. So yeah, I mean I still agree. Just
Nah,
caution,
the
but
best way to
incentive is
summarize
always nice.
the best way to summarize this whole topic is basically at the I would say the last paragraph of the article you sent was this phrase alone. Outriders isn't revolutionary, sorry, and it is not trying to be. That's what a lot of people think about that. Like they want it to be the next best whatever, and it's just like just take the game for what it is
Yeah.
and roll with the punches.
And I'm
There's
guilty with it too. Actually, me and Danny are guilty of it too. Like when we saw the trailer for Outrider, we were like, "This looks like another Destiny killer. Like this is something we could probably play." But we did say the same thing about Anthem, and look what happened there.
Yeah,
So
well,
we did say the same
there,
thing. Not just Anthem, but Anthem was fun. I mean, Anthem was playable. It was fun. It was a great example of a game that is you haven't played it yet, and I played and stopped. Is Godfall.
yeah,
That's a game
Godfall.
of this is going to be the next Destiny killer, and then the second you actually get to play the game, you're like, why did they break this game?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nothing to do. The
and
developers
that's the
fucked this
perfect.
game up.
But that's the case of the community hyping up the game too much.
Yes,
Like
that's what I mean.
yeah,
Yeah, like it looks tremendous. It looks gorgeous. It looks kind of like what this anthem is. We saw the armor, and oh my god, look at all those armors they have on, not knowing that it's only one fucking armor suit.
yeah,
Oh shit.
You, we saw the weapons, not knowing there's only four fucking weapons in that game. And every other weapon looks exactly the same. And this
it,
we saw everything, and it led up to a lot of the expectations that we are having. Anthem almost did, and Anthem had some of the expectations in the beginning. Its end game content is what lacked
Yeah.
because everything at the end was exactly the same. There really was no end game content.
Yeah.
Outriders, we still haven't reached that point yet, but for what I've seen, there
But
is
even now, we're not even
classic
at end
type.
game, and it's still great.
Yeah, but man, I've seen footage of their end game, and I looked up at their end game to see what they had, and it looks fun. It looks like just as much grinding as you would in Destiny.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, so if that's the case, or this looks good, so I'm willing to put up with. Okay, my game crashed once. Why I played for 5 hours today. Okay, it crashed once. Oh well, no big deal. It's a PS5. It's gonna load up like that, and we know it. It's not PS3 days where we have to wait for like 10 minutes for the game to come back on.
Yeah, those loading
You
screens
know,
are brutal now, man. I can't deal with loading
which
screens
is
anymore.
which
You got
is
spoiled.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
which is
did.
why when I played Cyberpunk, I didn't have that big of a deal as everybody else because I had on the PS5, so my game looked great. You know,
Yeah.
and yes, it crashed on me every half an hour, but it only took me like 30 seconds to get back to play. So if only takes you like 30 seconds to get back to play, it's playable. It feels playable. But for the people who had the PS4, it was not the case. You're waiting 5 minutes or whatever it is to get back onto 3 to 5 minutes to get back to a game. That's fucking forever.
Yeah.
Really is forever. Especially if it's crashing every half an hour.
Yeah. I agree.